as you can see, there is no shortage of snowfall here. I'm Julia Snarovich, and did you know that every year 12,000 people are hospitalized due to shoveling-related injuries? Therefore, it inspired me to make this video and teach you proper technique for shoveling snow. So, first of all, when you push everything to a pile, using your legs, your weight is behind it, and you get it into as much of a pile as you can before your momentum stops. Next, it's actually a rotation exercise. So, if I'm right-handed, I'll have a tendency to rotate into my left leg. This is key because when I actually shovel, I'm rotating and then using my leg to push off. So I'll show you. So if I'm right-handed, power hands here, and then with my left hand, I can use an overgrip or an undergrip. So if it's really heavy, I like the undergrip because it allows me to get low as I push off. And if it's not as much snow, you can use an overhand. Just be careful that you're not pulling up. So as I'm coming in here, right, I'm rotating into my front hip, and then I'm pushing off my front foot, so this time it's my left, and pulling up. The momentum comes from the leg and travels up through the body. So if it was vice versa and I was left-handed, right, I would be rotating into my right leg. So I would be pushing off my right leg to lift. So this way, staggered stance, up, and push. And this staggered stance, right, because you're not having it right in front of you as you're pushing. You do need one foot in front of the other. Think of it like you're surfing or you're snowboarding. So that's it. I hope you liked it. Make sure that you feel the connection and you're using the ground to push up to get that momentum. And to make all this easier, I'll see you inside for some exercises. Hi everyone, welcome. So 3 exercises we're going to touch upon today for shoveling snow, which is a dynamic activity, are a crossbody crunch. Number 2 is going to be a high to low rotation to stimulate you getting into the snow. And then the last one is going to be a low to high rotation for you throwing the snow and getting rid of it. So we'll start with the first one. So in this rotation, as you're bending and you're going in, you don't want your stomach to be pulling forward. You need your stomach muscles coming in to support your back so that all the vertebrae can work together. And then hopefully as you get better, it's going to be more in the hips. So the first thing is, as I do the rotation, I can just do the rotation here, but all I'm doing is throwing my shoulder blade forward. I need to not think about my arm leading the exercise. I need to think of it like this. My stomach is coming together as an X, and as I inhale, I'm shortening, and as I'm exhaling, I'm lengthening. So the first exercise would be to do this standing and just getting that motion coming from the stomach. To progress, the next exercise, still same motion, same everything. You're gonna lie down, okay? And from here, like I said, it's not just shoulder, it's stomach. So I'm thinking from as a cross. So as I inhale, stomach comes in, supports. As I exhale, comes out. Doesn't have to be a big motion. Just make sure that your stomach is doing the work. And then last one, if you're keener, you can do the whole up, one cross body. So that is the progressions for exercise number 1, right, which is just a crunch rotation. Okay, so exercise number 2, we have a low to high and a high to low. First thing is I have to teach you how to rotate. So using the body, as I rotate, my foot comes in on the side that I'm going away from, and it arches on the side I'm going towards. So I want you to see this with the feet. This is important because you want the mechanism to travel through the body and not get stuck at a point. So if these are my feet, as I'm rotating, I have more of an arch happening on my left, my right's a little flatter, and then as I come this way. This is super important because you need to create a rigid structure as you rotate, and that supination, that arch, allows it so it locks the knee, locks the foot, and then can travel up the body, especially if you're pushing off. I'll show you one more time up here. So as I'm up here and I'm rotating, you'll see my feet collapse in, more of an arch, collapse in, more of an arch. Keep the big toe down. You're going to need that as you push off. Okay, so starting with this, let's do, because I'm already here, let's do the low to high. So you're gonna take some weights and you're gonna get into your snow shoveling stance, right? So cross body in front. Don't just swing with your upper arms, okay? This is the problem. So weight, chest up, drop the ribs, stomach in. Okay, you're holding the weights, but it's gonna start with the lower body. So I'm adapting, and then I'm throwing. So at the end of my motion, I'm actually pushing off the ground, and at the very end, as I throw the snow, there's gonna be more weight on my left leg, because that's how I'm rotating. Push. I am pushing off a tiny bit off of my right as well, but it transfers, so then there's more weight here. So yes, this is tiring, okay? And then at the very end, as it loops around, I use my core, okay, to stabilize it to stop the motion. Yes, it is tiring, but shoveling snow is exhausting. And you can go to the gym and you can do a whole bunch of rows and motion, but you need it to work together so you don't get injured. Okay, so exercise number 3, which is a high to low. This one coincides to the first exercise we did, which was that cross-body crunch. I want you to think of the connection like this. So as you have the shovel and you're coming across your body to pull it into the snow, to lift it, you are shortening from your stomach, your foot's gripping at the ends, and then you're coming up. You do not need a whole machine like this. I'm just doing it. You can practice the exercise with the band. So as I'm doing this, first things first is I'm gonna lock my upper body, okay, and pull my stomach in. So this is high to low. So this is coming essentially from this shoulder to this inner thigh. So as I'm doing the exercise, I'm making sure that my back hand has a little bit more power in it, because if it was my front hand, it would just be a shoulder blade exercise, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna inhale, lock my upper body. As I exhale, coming across. And you can see, the more I get into it, the deeper I go, and then there's a spiral into my hip. So I know, hopefully it's not too much, but if I was going to train for a dynamic activity, such as shoveling snow, these are the exercises I would do because they most coincide with the activity. Let me know what you think, and thank you very much for tuning in. Bye. Morning, everyone. There's no shortage. Morning, everyone. There's no shortage of snow here. So the first thing is when you place it into a pile, that the weight is behind it. So next, Kylo, you're ruining my video here. If you look at this little guy here, go ahead, Nathan, shovel the snow. He's connecting from the feet to the ground. As he lifts up, he's planting his feet, bending his knees, and then shoveling. So I'm going to go through the technique as